This is Jewell Loyd. Most of you guys know me as a WNBA champion, an Olympian, college dropout, but let's add storyteller to that list. I'm bringing my amazing community, my experiences to you and everyone across the world. Welcome to the warehouse. Having the fans understand and believe in us that we were capable of winning a championship the way the season started was everything. This was a different kind of season. It was emotional. It was just a full body experience. This team here is built just different. And Becky picked each and every one of us for a reason.
You guys seem to find a way to win. What is it about the finals that turns Jewell Loyd into a superhero, basically?
I'm not going to get tired. I bet on me being the best in shape. I'm getting through these screens. I am running the floor, and that's things that people don't always want to do, the dirty work. But if you want to win, you're going to have to do that. Welcome to the warehouse. I'm Jewell. This is Danny. And this is where mindset meets mastery, where craft meets community. At the warehouse, we talk about what it takes to build your craft, stay grounded in the community, and tell your story with purpose. From the court to the creative space, it's all about growing, learning, and elevating together. Let's get into it.
Yeah, last time we talked, we were kind of recapping the season and how the rough start always ends up in smooth sailing somehow, right? But coming off a 17-game winning streak, longest in the W history, going from, I think at one point 9 seed, climbing all the way up to the 2 seed, and that was big. Those games leading up to clinching. Oh my God. It was like
nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking is all hell. Yeah, hoping teams lose. We want this seed. We want this matchup. But it was kind of funny how things play out and how fate works, right? But before we kind of get to that, going into the playoffs as a 2 seed, you look at the matchup, you look at the sheet. Who the Aces got? Of course, fate. Fate never leads you in the wrong way, right? You're playing Seattle first round. And it's funny how we can kind of tie back when we talked about Seattle, the whole transition to Vegas, and now it's in your face, right? And you're going into it and looking at those matchups, breaking it down. They were a tough team. They kind of, caught fire at the end of the season as well. And going into that matchup, what was the team like, when they first saw that matchup? And then, within that, how was your community surrounding you? Because knowing of the matchup, knowing the amplitude of the matchup in the series as well, who was kind of in your ear, who was kind of giving you kind of pointers or prepping you for the playoffs, especially going to a first round matchup like that with Seattle?
Once you kind of figure out you're in playoffs, like you said, you're looking to see possible matchups. If you're going to be home court advantage. We knew that we got that with the 2 last wins we got. So moving forward, it was just kind of waiting to see. At the same time, we didn't really care, quote unquote, right, who we played. We just want to make sure that we were ready. We went through a lot going into playoffs, and we had every single game possible, losing big, winning big, nail biters, giving up leads, getting back the lead. Everything you could possibly imagine we went through. So once you got to playoffs, it was like, okay, let's reset. But it's also funny too, because everyone who kind of was, on the edge of the chairs about our season and who we were going into playoffs were the people calling you, texting you, hey, congrats on playoffs, can't wait for you guys. It's okay, but we were 8 and 9 and 500 at All-Star break. My phone was dry as hell. You weren't calling me, you weren't texting me, you weren't encouraging me, but now everyone's hitting me up oh man, I'm so proud of you, you guys got there, I believed in you the whole time. And so sometimes it's kind of a distraction too, because now you're oh yeah, we're good, you kind of feed into that, and you kind of get away from what really matters, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had, Coop called me, Cindy Cooper called me. We have a really good relationship, and it's funny. I missed her call. I was doing something, either coming from practice or finishing up treatment, and she called me 5 times. And I missed her call. You miss someone's call like that. It's okay, I don't want to miss your call. I'm not trying to be, rude or disrespectful. So I text her, call her back, and we talked about going into playoffs, and she's obviously watched my journey, and she's saying the same thing. Be aggressive, your team needs you, and you hear that from someone who you look up to and have a great relationship with. You take it to heart. But like I said, a lot of people were calling me. I haven't heard from all season. I was like, I'm gonna leave it on red, and when I get back to my phone, I'll get back to my phone. But it's you have that side of things, and then you also have Steve and everyone, and like I mentioned before, I kind of put them on, D&D for a lot of the season because they were kind of panicking, and they were kind of they're stressing me out, and so once playoffs came, they kind of saw the vision that I had seen for the team and where we were at. They were like, wow, you made the right decision. you were right, and I support it. And I was like, wow,
Oh
Steve,
wow,
like,
huh.
hold on, say it one more time as
Yeah.
we record you and put you on live real quick, you know.
Yeah.
So I had that, you know, and I was like, okay, like now they see what I saw, and so now I need you guys. Like we're in playoffs, I need you guys to, you know, reevaluate what I'm doing, look at my shooting form, look at, you know, my fundamentals. Am I good? You know, I need
Yeah.
another check in because the playoffs is a different
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah. No, it definitely is 100%. And within that community too, like obviously the fans going through this roller coaster thing, we mentioned that like, you know, the fans are a big part of this whole thing too.
Yeah.
And like the viewers and the people, even the naysayers and whoever it was, like, tell me about that impact. Like, you know, the rallying around Vegas as well, for you guys in the support.
We believed all season that we were becoming the team that we wanted to become. It just took some time. And so, like, you know, people understood that, and people who came to games and were traveling with us and saw, they were seeing it real time.
Mhm.
And, you know, having the fans understand and believe in us that we were capable of winning a championship the way the season started was everything, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to support and show off for Vegas. They
Mhm.
show it all the time. You know, they're constantly, you know, every time we do anything, whether it's giving back to the community, doing a toy drive, you know, giving back, serving, they show up, right?
Yeah.
So for us to show up for them, you have to be at our best and play at our best.
Mhm.
And so having them rally around and make sure that, you know, starting playoffs, that everyone was, you know, ready to go. There was a buzz in the city. There was a buzz everywhere. You kind of feel it. You know,
Yeah.
you're walking around and people are like, yep, like we're here. Like we
Yeah.
told you guys we were about to come back and get a championship. Like you kind of felt that energy. And it was a different vibe than I've ever felt before.
Yeah.
And having them basically rally the troops was super important.
Did you notice a different vibe too for the people or for the teammates you have that were on those championship teams? Did they feel something different? Like, is it different than the 22 season for them or the 23? Like, did you ever talk to any of them, kind of seeing how this playoff run could shape out for them?
Yeah, I mean, this season for sure. Like this was a different kind of season. It was emotional. It was just a full, like, body experience. And, you know, it really was.
Yeah.
Like, people put their bodies on the line. Like, there was so much that happened to each player to allow them to say, you know what, I can't be here this season. Like, I can't show up. I have too much going on at home, my family, my situation here, like emotionally, mentally, my body's not feeling. There was so many excuses and real life stuff that's going on in people's lives, that the fact that people still showed up, and we did it together, and we could tell when someone was low down, and we rallied against them, with them, to get them, you know, to buy in. And, oh, like, we're here, you're not by yourself. There was so much stuff, you know. So then I think this championship just feels so different because it was life stuff going on top of us going out and trying to win a championship, which is so fucking hard to do,
Yeah.
you know. And so it just feels different, and I think that's why the tears that, you know, we cried together were different, and the hugs and the emotional how we were after we won. You know, it was like a release. We could finally, you know, be human again.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have to carry everything and
Yeah.
just push through. We could finally let loose a little bit, and we definitely did that.
Yeah. So, you know, round one, Seattle, right? You heard the advice from Hall of Famers like Cynthia Cooper. You know, you had your family rally behind you, had everybody rallying behind you, basically, in this sense. So prepping for it, the craft of, you know, shifting your mind focus from, you know, this is a practice for regular season game now into a playoff game, so a round one playoff game. Like, how does that look for you?
Yeah, I mean, for us in the locker room, you know, it's understanding. We look at each person. And Asia actually said it earlier in the season. She's like, you know, we have too many championships already in this room to not think we can't get another one.
Okay.
Like, you know, we have Dana who's won. You know, I've won. We have obviously Chelsea, Jackie, Asia's won. They're like, you know, we have, you know, Kia. Everyone has won a championship already, right? Or like was about to, or been in a championship locker room, who are experienced that. You know, so our experience should be shocked, right? We shouldn't be alarmed when things happen, right? So us getting ready for playoffs, you're like, listen, like we all been there, like we've been in big games. So let's act like it. Like, let's not forget who we are. And so we actually rallied around each other and built that community in our locker room, and had that, like, okay, like now it's time to lock in. And we talked about it even when we were not good at all. We're like, once we get into playoffs, like, we're good. We just got to get to playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we just got to
Like
get to playoffs. Once you figure that out, we're fine. It's just like this team here, it's built just different.
Mhm.
And Becky picked each and every one of us for a reason. And the fact that we were able to do that and rally around it, and then use that momentum to carry us into, you know, go into playoffs when you need that. Like, you need experience. Like, I don't care, you know, if you're even the best player in the world, like, you need some kind of experience to go there. Playoffs are not easy.
Yeah.
The scouts are different. You know, the mindset is different. The fans are different. The referee is different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get fined because I'm not in season, but the referee was
A little chippy,
Whoa, man!
little quick whistles here and there.
It's little rugby sessions here and there. But
some no calls here and there.
Yeah. So it gets a little different. So like you have to have some experience. You have to have some vets around you, and we were able to have that mixture of vets plus experience to really guide us and get us ready for playoffs.
Especially for the younger crew, right? Even if they're not playing heavy minutes, but to see it, like someone like Aaliyah Knight, for example, she didn't get in too much throughout the playoffs, but her experience, especially having a vet like you, like what has she learned from this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are they going to take into the next year as well? So it's awesome that you guys, and I feel like every team needs vets. You need someone to, when things aren't going your way, the vet can really calm down the room and make sure everyone's back even keel, right? You're not too high, not too low. So tell me about that. Tell me about like the impact of you guys, like for example, Chelsea Gray, you, Jackie, Asia, being those vets, spreading the message throughout the locker room as well.
It definitely was a different, culture once we got to playoffs. It was like, okay, now everyone needs to like really lock in. It's understanding like what you need to be able to do, because in playoffs, people, they try to find your weaknesses, right? And exploit that, right? They try to find certain ways to win here and there, these small little battles. And so, how we kind of made sure that everyone was on their P's and Q's, was like, okay, like now it's like, you need to be even better in shape. So I need you to run a little bit harder here and there. I need you to do a little bit more. But it's also the confidence level too. And I don't think that's talked about enough. It's like, for example, like Liz, she's been in the league for a minute, and her first playoff series was being in our playoffs our stretch of going and win a championship, right? Like that's unbelievable to have that experience to say, hey, like I'm playing in my first playoff game with Vegas, have the chance to like go win a championship. The nerves, the confidence, like, man, like you don't want to mess up. And that's the thing that I wish, when I played in my first championship, it was like you get there and it's like something you always wanted, and you're like, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. And that's what you're thinking, but you're not necessarily always present. And so with Liz, I just reminded her all the time, like, hey, like, do what you do. Like, let's just go rebound, have fun, like, enjoy this moment. Like, go out there, look around the stadium, embrace it all. Like, don't get so caught up in the moment. Like, you're good. Like, you got us here. Like, you played your ass off all season. Like, just play free. Like, we got you, And so that was a different perspective, because for her, it's like, she carried the weight of being like, I don't want to mess up, but also I'm here for the first time. Like, this is a lot. I don't want to let you guys down. It's like, no. This is where you lean on your teammates even more. Like, we got you. Like, we've been here. It's like, I know how it feels. And so her understanding that even, someone like me felt that same way allowed her to kind of take a breath. And, as the playoff series got going and going, she made a big impact in how we were able to win games.
She was a game changer for sure.
Yeah.
Crashing the glass defensively, running basically two bigs with you, her and Asia, just like dominating that side of the ball. And, for her to play in a first game, and especially in the magnitude of Seattle, coming in, like she had a tough matchup too. Yeah. They were big.
Man, Seattle. Yeah, that was a different kind of matchup.
Yeah.
All the games against Seattle were tough.
Yeah. Like every game basically came down to
the fourth quarter. Yeah. Fourth quarter, a couple of last like 5 minutes of a game. But yeah, for her to step in that role, and we knew what we had to do, and we didn't always accomplish it the way we wanted to, but it was a nice first series.
Yeah, definitely was. Especially game 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lights go out like this.
Like quick. You know what's funny? Yeah. Like I'm thinking the whole time, I'm gonna get this rebound. Like I'm here. I'm have perfect position. I'm right there, and I was just so like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna snatch this shit out of the air, and like hits my head, bro. Goes off. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like if they make this shot right here, because I didn't grab this damn rebound, it gave me flashbacks. You know what's crazy? In high school, to go to the next round in playoffs, same thing. I missed time the jump of a rebound, and it stood on the rim. And they get the ball and they score. And basically, like, if I get that rebound, we seal the game. So that's what I was thinking.
Oh, no.
As the time is clicking down, I'm like, bro, this can't be another GBS game. This can't be another GBS game, bro. I swear, my God, this can't happen again. That's all I was thinking the whole time. But yeah, they were quick to be like, off.
Yeah. Game's done. Wrap it up.
Go home. Everyone go home. Drive home safely.
Beep, beep. Drive home safe. That first round in Seattle, it was electrifying, honestly. It really was. And the fact that you guys had so much rallying around each other and built that kind of playoff bond was amazing. But like prepping game in and game out, like you guys have one day off between games, roughly.
Yeah.
If it's travel, you know what I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Give or take. But like the preparation for it, like how is the preparation for each practice? Because you don't want to overexert yourself, You know what I mean? You're playing longer minutes. The intensity is going to be up. The adrenaline's going to be running through you, so you don't want to get tired. So what's the preparation like, and like how do you guys kind of work through that?
Playoff preparation is way more focused on the details. It's knowing people's tendencies, the looks on their faces when like, shot clock's going down. What do they like to do in the middle of the floor? Where do they like their shots? How, the in and outs. Like you really study every little thing because it's understanding how to make them take tougher shots.
Uh-huh.
Not always going to take away everything, right? But like what you're trying to take away, you're going to take away. So understanding, who likes to pass the ball to who in certain moments. Play calls, repping play calls. And by then, everyone knows play calls. Obviously, you could go back on film and clip, the coach, showing a hand signal and getting that play that everyone has that's like basic coaching one-on-one. But understanding why they're calling that play at what time. And understanding, just little things. And whether, I actually learned this from Kobe. Like Kobe's like when he used to watch film, he watches it, not cut from like little, like it's only his minutes. It was watching the broadcast. One, because he wants to see, how people are when they go walk to the huddle. Are they cheering? Are they talking to their teammates? Who are they high-fiving? Who are they not high-fiving? So he's like, when you watch film like that. Because you could use that. Like next time you come out to, hey, why didn't she pass you the ball, man? That's kind of weird. Like that's messed up. Walk away. Now you saw, it's like you kind of play this mental game. Like
playing that chess game.
He would do this and he would teach me how to watch film like that, right? So you're not just watching for play calls, you're watching, man, she really gets, really upset when she misses this layup. Like why she gets upset. Like what you kind of break it down like that. So it's like you really want to understand the ins and outs of each player, each coach, like how they respond, on top of knowing, the play calls and what you could do. So it's preparing like that. It's preparing your body too, because it's going to be way more physical. So it's like the more contact of setting the screens and actually hitting contact and you want to obviously hit first a little bit, right? Because you don't want to just be taking shots all the time, but understanding that's going to be different. Going to the lane and finishing layups is going to be different, more contact. So you try to find little things that you can win, but it's definitely a different mindset to understand how you want to perfect your craft going into playoffs. Because now, if you were shooting, I don't know, 12%, right? They're going to make sure you only shoot 10%. So it's like they're cutting even worse, right? So you really got to make sure that everything that you think that people are going to attack, that you attack too, right? Like you're repping it in practice. You may not be going live all the time, but the 5 live reps better be the 5 best live reps you ever had in your life, right? So you want to get it right. You want to get it right the first time. You want to be effective and efficient in those times because, like you said, like playoff minutes, you never know. Like overtime games, or you play more minutes than you expected. Someone gets hurt, you had to cover someone else. So when you practice, it's more so training your mind than really exerting your body.
And then going into like a playoff game, like when they say possession by possession matters, from the tip off, you could see it, you could feel it, you could literally like smell the you could feel and smell the energy, how it's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 100%. by possession, how do you guys prepare for a different defensive set quarter by quarter? Like things are changing constantly. So how do you get your body ready, or not your body, but like your game planning and everything throughout that?
Well, if you look at the Seattle series, because each series obviously was dramatically different. And so in Seattle, like they have really good guard defenders, right? And they're super long all the way through. Their length is unbelievable. Yeah. So they were really driving us off the 3-point line. It was so hard for us all season. We were running the corners, getting wide open threes, pushing the pace a little bit. So they would pick us up a little bit more, higher, 3/4 court, and then take away our threes. So we're over here looking like game 1, game 2, like our shooting's so bad. Like why aren't we getting our normal shots? Like what's going on? And you're looking, okay, so they're pressing up a little bit. So they're taking away our quick, outlet passes. Very smart, right? So our strategy to understand how to break that down was different, right? So understand, okay, well, we could probably use the edge a little bit more. If they're cutting us off, that means the middle might be open more, so we could attack this way. So understanding that strategy, and that changes from literally possession, quarter to quarter, but it depends on who gets hot, right? Like who they're trying to take away. Maybe they take away Jack in the first quarter, but then Asia gets going. Now they're focused on Asia. Now Jackie might get free, right? Then now corners get a little bit open. So you kind of see where they're trying to take away and see how we can match certain matchups together. If someone subs out, who do we sub back in, right? How do we match, Wheeler's minutes with Dana's minutes, and how do we counterbat that, right? Yeah. So, like, do we play a little zone here and there? Do we do this? So we had that in the first matchup with Seattle. Going to Indiana, it was like a whole different game plan. Yeah. Like, definitely different.
Scouting report is completely different.
is remarkably different. Trying to stop Kelsey Mitchell is a nightmare. I mean, I've talked to you before. Like, I always believe Kelsey Mitchell is the hardest guard to guard because she plays. Not that she's just so fast and quick. She plays like so low to the ground. So she attacks not just your hip, but like your VMOs.
Yeah.
Bro, like she attacks your VMO. Like you're so low and that's so hard to guard. And then she's just able to attack it, right? So if I'm playing lower gravity than you and I go to the lane, I have to go up. So any point of contact for me, it's going to be a foul.
Yeah.
So she's able to just drive her elbow right into your VMO, into your IT band and just explode. You can't do it. You can't stop it, right? On top of her being able to shoot the three, stop on the dime, change space.
Her handle is great too.
I mean, she's just so shifty. Yeah. So now we have to acquire, like, what do we do? How do we stop this, right? Like, you could kind of make it go around her routes, you know, whether it's top blocking, making sure she doesn't come off the pin downs, whether it's keeping her to one side. And that's in that series, we were really trying to force her one way. You don't want to get back to her left hand. Don't get to the left hand, right? And that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to make her work, you know, and they have obviously great post players and their ability to crash the boards. They crash really hard from the side. So we emphasize, like, box out, like, find a girl, touch her, turn around, like, back to fundamentals, like, hands high, try to go grab the rebound, right? We didn't even talk about that. We just, like, another series of, like, the fundamentals of just boxing out, right? Like, they crash from the corners. That's what they do. So a whole mindset of understanding that and trying to stop the shifts were just different because they had different guards, different ways to attack. They were really, in certain games, too, they attacked inside. Which most people don't try to attack inside because we have great post presence with Asia and everyone down there. So that was a different look too. So each game was different. Then we go to Phoenix and it's like, you know, AT, who's really, I mean, I don't know. She's a point guard for them, but she's in the middle of the floor.
She's also like a bulldozer.
Head full of steam going down. How do you stop that, right? Like, they also have, you know, Satu, who's shifty and could play, you know, 1 through 4. Like, it's just a different set of attacks. So, like, how do you change that every game? How do you change that every possession? And, you know, I'm so glad that Becky Hammond's our coach because that's not my responsibility. But the way she was pulling out no cards and all these things, I'm like, bro, she was ready for everything. And
or something.
Oh my gosh, her ability to draw up, you know, ATOs. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Between her and Chelsea, like, we were always in good hands. Like, we will almost thrive for timeouts. We're like, all right, timeouts.
Let's go.
What are you running? Like, what do we got? You know,
you got maestros everywhere.
100%. Like, we knew if it came down to someone drawing something on the play on the board, we were going to execute that, and it was going to be one of the best plays. But you have to be able to adapt. And I think the best thing about Becky, her ability to adapt. And I told her, even the start of playoffs, I'm like, I know for a fact we're not going to get out coached. We might get out hustled here and there. Yeah. You might get outplayed, maybe, but out coached?
No, never.
That's not going to happen.
Never.
No.
And like series by series too, we talk about Seattle and Indiana. So you're in the Seattle series. So in between games, I know you're doing a preparation of watching film, but are you watching other playoff games too? Like, do you guys ever just like huddle around the locker room with the TV and just like, hey, what's going on in this game? Or like, are you guys aren't tuned into that at all, but to maybe potentially see who you're playing next or what players are getting hot or whatever to kind of game plan for?
Yeah, it's on. You know, we talk about, you know, who's on the other side of the bracket and potential things. And you just want to watch because, one, you're just a basketball fan, right? But you also want to see, like, okay, like, this person's been playing well all playoffs, like, prepare for them to be shooting X, Y, you know, going to maybe play them or things like that. So you definitely watch for sure. I mean, it's everywhere. And that's the cool thing about women's sports where it is now. It's everywhere. Like, you can't go anywhere without seeing it. Someone's talking about it. Obviously online, it's everywhere. So regardless if you weren't trying to watch it, you're going to see it somewhere.
Yeah. So, but and it helps you because you're kind of understanding what, like how you said, when you're watching from a broadcast view. Yeah. You know, what Kobe was telling you, like, hey, you should watch it in this kind of film. Yeah. Isn't that kind of helpful for you guys?
No, you're scouting, right? You're still doing homework and research. You know, I think there's a bit of understanding, like, man, this person played terrible this series. And the next series, they could have an unbelievable series, right? So you don't want to look too much into it, but you just want to look for tendencies. You want to look for habits, things you can exploit, and then, and then also, like, you know, what's the coach looking like? You know, like, is he confident in his players too? How come he's not playing this person? Now you kind of like, you know, but you don't want to overanalyze because basketball is also about rhythm and timing, right? So someone could get hot who's shooting like the worst thing is your coach is like, this person's not a shooter. Next, you know, go out there, the person has like 4 threes in the first quarter. You're like, why'd you say that? Yeah. Like, now this person's hot. They haven't, you know, it's like,
because now you're not respecting the closeout.
Exactly. So it's like, you don't want to like have this narrative of this person's not capable of doing this or this, but you definitely want to be like, okay, like, this person had a good game. They're in a rhythm. Like, be cautious of this, you know, but I try not to get too much. I want to be super present. And then when that time's ready, I go back to the archives and be like, all right, this is what we have.
So, like, knowing what you know, knowing what the team knows, knowing what Becky knows in her game plan, like, how are you guys tying everything together to put on a perfect show, game in and game out throughout the playoffs, especially going from a series like Seattle to Indiana and then ultimately to Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, if someone was who never watched basketball before, never had a understanding of like playoff basketball, or someone who's whatever, well, listen to the podcast for the first time, also like and subscribe to the Warehouse. You're like, that's a lot of shit you got to focus on to get ready for the playoffs. Like that's a whole laundry list of things to do, and you still got to like eat well, sleep well, like get your mind right. Like, I don't know if you have dogs and kids and another life, like it's so much stuff. How do you still be a human and live? And then you got all these things you got to get ready to go win a championship. And I guess the answer is, you just got to do the work, but you also just got to show up. Like you've done all this multiple times, you study this, and sometimes you gotta walk in that classroom and just take the test.
Yeah.
And then that the result is the result. And so as much as it's so much to prepare and you have to make sure you're doing all of everything to the best of your abilities all the time, you don't know until you take the test.
Mm-hmm.
So we could give you literally the answer sheet, and and you go in there and so forget what the answers are. So you have to go in there and get tested. And that's the thing that this team had. We were battle tested. We had a lot of tests, and we were able to feel confident going to the classroom, sitting down, sharpening your pencil, little thing right there, throw it out, and then getting ready to really take the exam.
Yeah, definitely, and the results show, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing too, I was gonna say is like, besides the finals, because it ended up in a sweep, but went full 3 games with Seattle, full 5 games with Indiana. How hard is it to put away a team in the playoffs?
Oh my god!
When they say closeout game, like we've all watched basketball. Oh, it's a closeout game, but how hard? I mean, and especially putting everything together as a closeout game.
A perfect example is unfortunately Kelsey Mitchell goes down.
Yeah.
Right. And so we came back to the circle and we're like, listen, like this team is either going to fold, which it's the playoffs. Yeah. They're not going to fold.
It's going to fold. Okay.
Or they use this as another fighting tool to get them ready to finish this game off. Like either way. The team did not go away. Yeah. Like, I don't know if anyone thought in that gym, like, oh, perfect. Like, this is the best thing. Like, she's out. Like, they don't have anyone.
What's going to run?
Yeah, we were like, no. Like, we didn't have a game plan. It changes how, Odyssey Sims was playing. Like, they started making.
They were hitting shots.
Everything was going in. So it's like, you want to see, like, oh, okay, like, perfect. Like, but it's never perfect. Like, I was waiting. I'm like, this might be the longest, like,
2 minutes.
2 minutes, 3 seconds, like all this damn clock, like hurry up, like come on. Like it's so hard to close out games because no one wants to lose. It's the playoffs, and it's a battle. And these teams, we've been going at it back and forth. And it's so hard. So I think the difference is like the 50-50 balls. Like that's like the energy plays, like the crucial rebounds here and there, like making your free throws on the stretch, like knowing when to call a timeout. For Becky is like understanding timeouts. Like, I'm gonna call this timeout, catch your breath, like calm down. You guys were good. Like that's a big deal. Like, so understanding strategies like that. But it's all the 50-50 and the hustle plays, I think really is like the separator of like how to close out games.
Second chance opportunities.
Oh, for sure.
You saw it in Seattle. Like, I think it was game 2 where Malanga had a killer finish to her game. And she's 19 years old and she stepped up big time. In the Indiana series, it was Lexi.
Yep.
Just being a pest.
Yep.
Not allowing, people to go grab rebounds easy. She's coming in crashing. She's hitting big shots. So it's like, you got to kind of key into those players who are stepping up as well.
Everyone who steps in the game is the person you got to watch out for because you never know. Like all it takes is a putback, right? Like Jackie hits that putback, pushes to the next round, right? So it's like whether it's a putback, whether it's a steal, whether it's a free throw, like all those little things add up to success. And so whoever comes into the game, you got locked into the scout. Yeah. Welcome to the Warehouse halftime. Make sure you like and subscribe, share with your crew. I don't know if you saw, but the other week I happened to have people over,
okay,
grilling for my dad.
Nice.
I got this big ass steak on the grill. I grill all the time, by the way.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, I love grilling. I find it very relaxing.
So do I.
So I put this big ass steak on the grill, and then my girl's like, actually, can you like roast me a pepper? I'm like, just one pepper. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Put it on the grill. Go inside. Open the wine for my parents. Like, I'm hosting.
Yeah.
I go back out. Yeah, of course, right. I go outside, like flames everywhere, just fire. I'm like, okay, all right. Stay calm, don't freak out, right? The music's playing inside, they're like vibing, dancing, I'm like over here like trying to fan my life away. Open the grill, it's like, woof. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's even worse. So I'm very calm.
Jesus.
Yeah, I promise you, I'm very calm, right? In my head, I'm very calm. Well, not really, but I'm like, all right, like I can't yell too loud, like dad, because my mom's gonna freak out if she finds out, and
she's
the dogs are inside, like everyone's like, So I'm trying to get this, the pepper. I'm more concerned about the damn pepper because if a girl gets mad, she's hungry, to burn the pepper, it's over, game done.
Hangry,
you don't want to deal with it,
I get it.
I'm trying to get this pepper. It's like fire everywhere. I'm like, dude, like what do I do? So then I call my dad. I'm like, Dad. I'm whispering. Mind you, I have like the cracked door in the back, like, Dad. He's like in there with his beer. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, come here. He's like, all right. He comes outside. He's like, what the hell, Jewell? I'm like, Dad, like, what do I do? The fire's everywhere. I finally get the steak off. I finally get the pepper off. The pepper's like as black as this mic. Right? I'm like, oh, this is not good. Luckily, my dad loves like a nice hockey puck of a steak.
You're kidding.
Dude, he loves like a charred, well done
That's insane.
steak. Okay. So I'm like, this is perfect, man. Like, I did this for you. Like, what's money on my guy? Like, come on. Come on.
Check it out.
Exactly. So I finally took the steak off, the peppers off. We go inside. My dad's like, what? Why'd you just turn the gas off? Like, why'd you have a fire in the back? I'm like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, why were you not outside with me? Like, why would you not vibing with me? Like, you're inside, feet up, like, I thought we were trying to bond over grilling your steak that I didn't even want, by the way. Like, this is for you. Yeah, like, what the hell, bro?
Like, throw it back at him.
Yeah, I'm like, this is serious. So then I go back inside. Everyone's having my mom has no idea.
Yeah.
My aunt has no idea. The dogs have no idea.
Still vibing.
Everyone's vibing, So clearly, I didn't do anything, too crazy to disrupt the vibes.
Yeah.
Just, I got a burnt ass pepper and a very well done steak for my dad. Hey, listen, don't panic, just breathe. That's all you need to do. Like, I'm not like a fire safety person.
Yeah.
Most people probably would call 911 or freaked out, but just breathe. Stop what you're breathing.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Inhale, exhale.
Yeah, it's what we did. Going to the season, the playoffs. Just breathe.
Just breathe.
That's it.
And then when Game 5 of Indiana's over, just breathe. You can exhale.
Breathe, exhale. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but you definitely can breathe a little bit.
Because then you got to transition and get into a whole new mindset.
100%.
You got to get into a whole new mindset. It's the finals.
It's the finals.
Bright lights. These are some bright lights, but the bright lights are on.
They're on, ready to go.
And so getting into the finals, this isn't your first rodeo.
No.
It's not your second. This is your third finals appearance.
Third.
So take us through the mindset of, you've been here before, but it's a whole new, it's the same, but it's different.
Yes, it's definitely different. Finals, it's just, you're right there, right? And both teams feel like they're right there. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
They understand, like, this is for everything. Like, if you're injured, you're playing. If you're tired, you're playing. If your tummy hurts, you're playing. Like, there's no reason not to play in these finals, right? Like,
no excuses.
You are giving everything you have for these games.
Yep.
So the mindset is understanding, yes, it's all the personnel, it's all the tendencies, it's all that, it's the rhythm, it's just taking the crowd out of it, it's adding fuel to the crowd when we need it. It's bringing more life into the game of basketball. It's more intense. It's every possession feels so heavy. Like, it could be the first possession of the game and you miss the layup and it feels like you're down, 100 points, right? It's just, everything's more magnified.
Mm-hmm.
There's more TV cameras, there's more lights, there's more interviews, there's more segments. It's just like anything like to really get you nervous it's there.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give a fuck that you have you have a game.
Yeah.
You got to do an interview for an hour right before the tip off. Like, it's like, it's like different. You have to be professional and show up and be like, I love doing it. It's like, but I got to go, get ready for the biggest game of my life.
Literally war.
Like, and you guys are asking me about, like, what's my favorite juice to drink before a game. Like, it's like, it's a business. You see the business side when it comes to the finals. Even in terms of, like, you can't touch the basketballs until the clock hits, a certain number, and then you can touch the basketballs. But once that buzzer goes off, you got to return the basketballs to the thing. You can't take any extra shots in the court. It's like,
wow, it really goes into that detail?
This March Madness, like, it's like, it's so like on a schedule. Like, you have the court for this amount of time. You can't do this. You can't do this. So as much as you are preparing for the biggest games of your life, you're very on a schedule.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because you're not like that for the rest, like the whole season, kind of. You kind of have more leeway. And the finals comes in and this guy comes on in a suit and he's like, actually, you're supposed to bring. I'm like, my guy, come on, man. Like, I just need to make my free throws. Like, I make 10 in a row before I go. It's my ritual for the whole season. Now you're going to mess with my routine. Like, don't do that. It's the finals, man. I got to get ready. Right? But it's a whole different level of like intensity and you really have to change your mindset to get ready because you're also very fucking tired. Like, your body and mind is so tired. So, but to get up mentally and get ready to go play football is a different level.
Yeah.
Little contact.
Oh, like, yeah, basically. You feel like you're...
Just embrace the...
Just that shoulder to the chest. That shoulder to the chest. To the ground. And I saw you take some hits in the finals.
Listen.
I literally saw you get...
I think Alyssa Thomas is great. I think she's awesome. I have a great relationship with her. Yeah. I think she's, doesn't get talked about enough, what she's doing. And I said this to my friend. I'm like, if she didn't play in the era of Asia Wilson, she'd probably have some MVPs. Mm-hmm. I think so. Or should.
Yeah.
Right? Like, her triple doubles are insane. How she impacts the game, her effort. She does not get tired.
No, she does not.
It's just she just does things that no other player has ever done.
And she has such command of that offense. It's crazy. It literally runs through her, in my opinion, like 90% of the time. It's like through her, she's like guiding and like directing. She's pointing out things like during the play. Like, she has the ball on the elbow and she's like telling who to cut, and that pass is coming and it's still getting to that person.
100%.
It's amazing.
I mean, with all the love that I'm giving her, she is strong as hell. And there should be a lot more charges than what is given. Mind you, someone called me a flop. I'm like, I'm not a flop if I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking the contact. Like, you can't just run me over. And I said that. I'm like, think about it. Like, LeBron, Zion, right? These guys are, super strong.
Massive, yeah.
Right? Like, they're just naturally gifted. How many times do you see them run people over? Just run them over.
I mean,
like, seriously, like they have the ability to do that every single possession.
That's how they're built, basically. It's part of their game.
Yeah, but they don't really run people over. They just they get held and grabbed. Mind
for
you,
the most part,
that's fine. But like, Alyssa Thomas does it every possession, and it's like the refs are like, "Do we call a foul? What foul do we call today? Like, is it a charge? Is it a block? Is it a travel? Is it a carry? Like, it's like, well,
is it extension?
Is it extension? Yeah. Like, is it a flop? Like, you don't know.
It's crazy.
So I'm like, I've never seen any player do what she does.
No, literally
all the time. Like, a lot of time, I think it's a good ass move. Like, she has a spin move. She has her counters. But a lot of times too, I'm like, damn, bro, you can't just run me over. Like, I don't know. That's just my take, mind you. Like I said, I think she's amazing. Yeah. But like, those calls in the playoffs, I'm like, two of them, I'm like, I know for a fact I was there. I know I was there, bro.
Look
like,
at the cameras.
I swear,
we gotta bring it up. We gotta bring it up. We gotta see your feet were set.
One of them was for sure.
I gotta see if those feet were set.
One of them for sure was a block, 100%. But the other two, I promise you, I was a charge. It was a no call. I'm like, okay, at least call something. Like, a no call is crazy.
And it's funny because on the other end, like, you will barely do like this.
Oh my!
And they'll be like, shh,
so quick.
Foul 24. Are you
so quick? I'm like, I didn't even touch her, bro.
Oh,
like,
during game 4.
Yes,
that was. Can you explain? Can you explain something?
No, I can't. I get flustered every time I think. We talked about it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I literally saw it. I literally saw it in my own eyes. I read your lips from the section.
I didn't do anything.
And they reviewed your thing.
But you know what's crazy about some of our reviews, though, is that because we're the WNBA and we're growing and yada, 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 we don't have great camera angles. So sometimes when they review in certain gyms, they can't see the camera angle that people have on TV.
Are you serious?
I promise you. Like, some of the calls, like, they're like, oh, we just don't have the camera angle. We can't see it. I said, well...
Wow. So that's what the ref is telling you when you guys are having...
Yes. I'm like,
that's crazy.
Go get some cameras.
Yeah.
Like, go look it up on, like, go get your phone and watch it how everyone else is watching and see where the ball is at. Like, there's been certain games, like, they literally tell us, well, we don't have that camera angle, so we can't really see.
But then why are the reviews taking so long?
We can't really see because they're trying to figure out how to explain that to us.
Yeah.
Like,
if they don't have the camera angle, they're not reviewing it, so the
Wi-Fi is down, so we can't really connect to the system. Sick. So if it's out of bounds, we're just gonna flip a coin and
no,
whatever.
But yeah,
like what?
I feel it. But like, to your point, the mindset of like, you still have to prep for pregame, your warm-ups, everything, the game itself, but then the beforehand of the media and everything, like, and and how the game is growing. I feel like was that in the last 2 years that's been a thing, or is it like your first 2 finals were they that intense?
No, I mean, I think the intensity level has always been there, but like it just was a different.
Like, were you getting those? Yeah, were you getting like those interviews and like you have to be at this certain time? Was it like scheduled?
That was always pretty scheduled, but I just also think it's different when you're in Vegas. I think Vegas brings a different vibe, a different aura to the game, and I've noticed it. Like, I was in Seattle for 10 years, right? And so it's just different when you're in Vegas. Like when you're in a different market like that, where
media is almost everything.
Yeah, I think how they're able to even. I mean, you're also playing with the best player in the world, so the team in general has a lot more eyes on you. But I just think when you're in the finals and you are building a dynasty and you have the craziness of the season that we've had, and you have someone who's having a remarkable season, she just won MVP, like the lights are on you, because now it's like, oh, we're seeing the Vegas that we thought we saw or we needed to see early on. Now they're here. Oh, we're gonna record everything because we see they could be a championship team because in the final, so now it's like,
it took y'all long enough, right?
Exactly. We're like, oh my God, we've been waiting for so long. But I think that's a different mindset. And even like you mentioned, like pregame meals, like when you're on the road, what do you eat? Like, it's the same routine. Like, how do you find like certain things, like the traveling wise? Are you playing a little earlier? Like, is your time different? Like, it was certain things where, things are just, you got to stay mentally ready, because based on TV, you may start 15 minutes later, 15 minutes, so you might be in a normal routine, look at the clock, they added time. You're like, damn, like I already did my routine. Like, now I got to wait for another 5 minutes. So it's always little distractions, all the time. Definitely in, finals, but anytime, whether you're preparing for the finals or preparing for, a speech to give to a CEO board. Like, it's like, there's always little distractions. And if you allow that to distract you, you're going to lose focus. Like, 100%. Your mindset's not going to be on the main thing, right? It's going to be like, well, how do I prepare? Now you worry, now you panic, now you're panicking, and now it's not the same. It's like, oh, you got to play a fucking game and 10 minutes, like, wake up, man, like, snap back into it. It's like, okay, like,
it's
so
like, good morning.
100%. So it's like, regardless of what your surrounding is, like, you have to find little ways to refocus, like stay present, because within an instance, like, it's over. It's like you can't want to go back and like, man, I wish I would have really focused in that timeout. I would have messed up that play. Well, I could have won you the game. You want to make sure you're ready for every single moment.
And staying present throughout the moment. It's the finals. The championship's on the line. This is what you guys play for. This is what you guys want. This is what you guys feel like you deserve, right? And it's for the taking at that point. But staying present in a era now where every little soundbite goes viral, and especially when you hear it from the top of the top, and the comments that are being made, and all eyes and the viewership and all that. Like, how do you even stay present through that? Like, when you guys heard that, like, was it just more of a?
Well, I remember one of the media, I don't know, things we had. It was like some person came up to me and was like, you're in the finals now. Getting ready for the big game tomorrow, and do you think there'll be a season next year? And you're like, yeah, bro, you just asked me. Getting ready for the finals, one of the biggest games of your life, how you're preparing, and then you're asking me about something that actually is really about to, could potentially happen, or, now I'm thinking like, well, I wasn't, thinking about it right now, but now I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's a possibility, but how do you manage, trying to propel the game, but also hold on to something that, you may be slipping away, or how do you do that at the same time in real life, in the real time, like as we're trying to promote the finals and something that's so special and meaningful for the players, for the fans, for the game of basketball, we're also trying to find ways to sustain it, and grow it, by us, by the players. And so it was a weird dynamic of like, every time you were talking about, the Vegas Aces and, the games and, trying to close out and, everything that had to do with basketball, real life was still in our face. Yeah. And so the same thing with the distractions, like, you could be so overwhelmed by that you're not present for what it's happening, an hour later, or vice versa, and so it's a weird dynamic, because a lot of people too, like, we were the only two teams in the finals, but every other player is on the calls that we're missing, or, they're talking and they have more time to kind of focus on that. So we were really trusting our players to make sure like information was getting passed through and everyone was on the same page while still trying to prepare for the finals. So it was a weird dynamic.
It's crazy because like they're your peers and you're also trying to play against them, compete against them, and then like, not really do it, but kill them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To
facts.
win a
It's like all for
championship,
one,
right?
but
Yeah.
also like all for
hey,
one, man. Like, come on,
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting thing, and I think all of us handle it really well with the media too, and really emphasizing, we're really, protecting the players. We put out a really good product every single night, and we deserve, what's ours,
Yeah.
and what's fair. Obviously, it's nothing to do with being a male or female. Playing the NBA or WNBA, it's about, just understanding your worth and what you're able to
Yeah.
grow. It's two different entities, and understanding like this game is it's beautiful. We sacrificed a lot, we've done a lot, and now it's time to, reap the benefits. And so we understand that, and I think, the leverage that we have even from the finals helps us go into negotiations,
100%.
right? Like everything, and people who are watching, and the feedback from the fans. Honestly, the fans have been really great the whole process too, because they're so educated. They know so much more now. A lot of things obviously on the internet. They understand, what the CBA is. We have like people are like, oh, you guys have a CBA.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
And
bro.
some people know
like
what CBA actually stands for.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
They're like, what are you
now,
talking about?
exactly. So now fans are actually educating each other, and so there's a whole, educational part of it too, which has been really cool to see. Even from my mom understanding like what it is and what it means, and how it can affect people and things like that. So, having the finals that we had and the viewership that we had, and where women's sports is going now, I think that also helps going into this negotiation.
Definitely. And definitely, especially when, like you said, all eyes are on you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys put on a show. You guys have some global stars on your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
when the best player in the world speaks, I think we should listen.
Yeah, definitely. So getting to the finals, I mean, it didn't seem like you were distracted. And the reason why I say that is check the record, guys. Check the facts. There's 10 finals games Jewell's played in. All resulted in Jewell getting a dub. So,
man, I felt good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt so good.
And you know what I was gonna ask you is like the differences. Like obviously in your first 2 years, Seattle starting and winning and getting those sweeps, and then going into Vegas, different role,
Yeah.
same impact you made, and even a higher impact in different ways. It's what was like the difference, I would say?
I went into playoffs in that week going in, and even like finishing Indiana game going to Phoenix. I felt good. Like I was like, okay, like now let's finish this and go home.
Yeah.
Like that's really was my mindset. It's like we've been through so much. We've seen everything. I mean, anything you could possibly think of that happened to us.
Mhm.
And going into game one, like I remember talking to my guy Isaiah, and he's like, man, it's go time.
Yeah.
Like this is what we play for. Like be you, like do what you do. Like, he flew out and supported me, and having him there, I was like, yeah, like it's I'm ready. And I've said this for multiple years. I like playing in Phoenix. I put my first game winner in Phoenix. And so my dad said that to me too. He's like, like Phoenix is a good shooting gym. It's a good gym. I know you like playing in Phoenix, and I was like, yeah, so he brought up that to me, like, yeah, your first game winner was against Phoenix. And so it's like, you have good memories there and good experiences. And playing at the gym that Diana Taurasi really built and labeled and stapled. It's you want to respect the people that kind of set the tone. And so like anytime I go to Phoenix, I want to play my best because I remember all the games playing against her in that gym. So I felt good. So the first game came out, I think I hit a crossover. And it's funny, I don't remember.
Nasty.
I just remember the crossover. I don't remember how I got to it until I watched film. I'm like, oh, I went behind my back. Like I had no idea, to be honest. And so after that, I was like, okay,
that game one.
let's go.
Game one was also kind of tough. I mean, like Copper going shrug, MJ hitting like 6 threes and a half.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of crazy.
Yep.
But you guys seem to find a way to win.
It's
And
just-
it's what is it about the finals that turns Jewell Loyd into like, a superhero, basically? I don't know how to explain it. You just do things that I don't like. You almost don't see it sometimes in the regular season, and you just come out and you just, here comes Clark Kent, basically. Like you're saving the day. Like
it's the finals, man. Like I don't know. I think a lot of it's the teams I've been on. The experience of the teams, the trust, and all my championships. We've been through some stuff early on to make sure like we were ready for the finals. And with this team in Vegas, like the trust level between each player and the coaches, and the rhythm and understanding, who we are. Asia, like I said before, she was like, we have too many championships in this locker room for us to not be ready for the finals. And, hearing that, you're like, yeah, like we done this, not saying it's going to be easy by any means, but, going into the finals and doing all the little things, setting the screens, rebounds, tip outs, offensive rebounds, running the floor hard. Like I knew for a fact, I know that I'm not gonna get tired. Like I bet on me being in shape, the best in shape. Like I'm getting through these screens, I am running the floor, and that's things that people don't always want to do, like the dirty work. It's like, but if you want to win,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do that.
And you set the example, set the tone. Like again, your stature, your resume, like you're still diving for loose balls, getting your elbows dirty. You know what I mean? Like scraping your knees, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to see you kind of transform into just like whatever is needed, like the glue to the piece and the puzzle. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. And the one game that kind of stood out, obviously, Game 3, buzzer beater, Asia going saving the day on that, but. Leading up to Game 3 was tough. That's another game that, they're down 2-0.
Yeah.
And they're hungry to get a dub. Yeah. Like, what was the mindset going into Phoenix Game 3?
Well, Becky has never won a Game 3. And she kept telling us, like, I've never won a Game 3. Those are the hardest games to win. Like, and I was like, well, I don't know.
I don't lose.
I don't know anything else. I don't know.
Lose.
I don't know. I was like, well, we're not going to. You want to win
you
win Game 3?
I got you.
All right, let's win Game 3, And, we wanted to change the narrative for her because, she kept saying it. Someone always says, like, oh, man, I really love this bag. Like, should I buy? Like, you can just like, okay, the next day you hit, like, this bag is really cool.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
You're hinting at.
Yeah, I'm buying the damn bag, right? So it's like, they keep saying it. And so when Becky kept saying it, we're like, all right, Becky, like, we got you. Like, damn, like, we get it. We get it. So going into Game 3, it was like, okay, like, I don't care how we win this game, but we're winning this game.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get this monkey off our back because we have never won a Game 3, right? Like, that's the whole message in Vegas locker room. And I'm like, we're good. Like, we're going to find a way to win. Obviously, we didn't want to make it that damn close.
Yeah.
But,
it was a back and forth game, too.
It was.
Swinging
it was crazy.
haymakers.
It was
thrown.
Literally haymakers, just uppercuts.
I know.
Like, no jabs, just uppercuts.
Literally, everyone's going for, like, the fucking kill shot.
Exactly. And then, we have A'ja Wilson, and like I said, when Becky drew up the pin, like we were like,
that's it. Right into a sweet spot.
I don't need to know what you're drawing. A'ja, just shoot the ball. Just shoot it.
She's gotten to her sweet spot over 2 defenders.
I mean, we told her you got to frame that. That picture is unreal, man.
Crazy.
And, it's
Game 3 wrapped up, exciting finish. You guys knew it was wraps. Like even though up 3-0. Did you guys have a feeling like let's just let's put them away? Like it's
of course
wrap them up.
Of course, you want to put people away. Like you don't want to give anyone life, but we also were like enough. Like we've played with the lead a lot. We've been up in the series and let people back in. Like close the door. Like do what we have to do to finish this out. And it's not easy obviously playing on the road, but the momentum of each game just kept building for us, and we were able to really stay the course. And I mean, the last game too was a lot of chaos. Like tags. Fans were going crazy, super loud reviews. Like it was just a lot going on, and the distractions and everything. You could go back and look. Like through all the chaos, we're huddling, we're together. Hey, stay together. We're all talking to each other. We're locking in, making sure everyone's focused on what's present. So, I mean, that helps a lot. And I mean,
what a season! Like looking back, has it even settled in? Has it settled in that you're like, obviously when you first win, the emotions are high and everything. You don't feel it, but like, has it actually settled into you now? About a month later.
I had a thought process basically like, the 2 other championships was based on like, to me, like pure athletic ability. Like we were just better than other teams. Like, but we were very smart too. Like we were very high IQ teams. But for me personally, it was like, I was just better, like better than a lot of players.
Yeah.
This championship to me is a mental championship. This is like you went and like strategically won a championship. And I think that's like harder because it takes more perseverance, more of like taking yourself completely out of the situation to figure out how to solve this puzzle.
You're almost battling through adversity, like game in and game out.
Every
single game.
Every single game. Like, how can I solve this equation? How can I, mentally, disrupt chaos on the other side to successfully win? And yes, obviously, like, physically I felt great. I was rebounding, I was hitting, like I was doing all the extra things. Like I had no problem there. But to do what I did this season and understand the chemistry and the I don't know, like the psyche behind our team.
Yeah.
I think this was like a masterful, full round championship run for me.
It's you've seen it in a lot of great athletes too. The redemption tour, the revenge tour. Even greats like Kobe couldn't win without Shaq, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady gets suspended for 4 games, comes back, wins the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like the whole there's always like a revenge tour and a redemption tour. Did you ever feel like that? Like your arc, if you were a character, like your arc was a redemption tour.
Bro, I was traded to the Aces.
Yes.
And I said this in the press conference, like I was written off and exiled.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the promised land. And that's how I felt. And the things that were talked about me, my game, my character, the things that happened to me, like it's literally a movie.
Yeah.
Like it was like unfathomable of the things that happened. And to go to a place for the first year and to win a championship, that just doesn't happen. Like, like right away.
Yeah.
Like you don't win right away.
Yeah.
And to do it with this team and how we did it and to show people who didn't really know me in this new community of Vegas who I really am was amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't change anything that happened all year, how we did it, the process of things, the things that were said, the grind out thing. I wouldn't change it because like the story it's just amazing because I was written off, talked about, and then like none of that mattered when I got to the Aces. They saw me and they believed who I was, and then we go and win a championship, and then we do it in such a beautiful way together collectively. And I'm at peace and have joy all season. I mean, like, why would I change anything? It's great.
So it's almost
awesome.
like the story's not ended, right? Like you were still writing shit. Like we were even thinking, like, man, like this is me personally thinking, like, if the Aces. Obviously, you guys were struggling. Like, the Aces make the playoffs and win a round.
Yeah.
Great. Like, Jewell's on a new team. You know what I mean? It's a whole new dynamic. Fine. Conference finals. Yeah. Oh, my God. Wow. The Aces, like, oh, wow. They turned it around. They're in conference finals.
Yeah.
Getting to the finals. Holy shit. Like, dude, we're in the final. Like, okay, this is great. Like, even though it's a new team, like, this is success. Like, if God forbid you guys lost, it's still success. The Aces turned it around the season. It's success. Now they're going to build on for next season.
Yeah, facts.
Guess what? Y'all said, fuck that. We're winning it, right? Yeah, like, so that kind of, like I said, the redemption of it and everything that went around, it was the ultimate success. Now, what does the future look like? Because if that is the high of the highs, now you're looking down on everybody else. You're not climbing up to chase someone else. People are chasing you. The target's on your guys' back now. Yeah, and it's just different. I think with everyone trying to figure out what the season will look like, right? Coming into the 2026, it's understanding like regardless of if you won a championship, or if you've been an all-star, or if you've been an Olympian, or if you've been, first team, second team, like someone's coming for you regardless. Someone's taking your spot or trying to. So if you're not ready to protect it or evolve or get better, your spot's gone. If you're thinking, oh, I'm good, your spot's gone. Yeah. And that's the mindset you have to have if you're trying to be an elite athlete that's, constantly perfecting your craft every year. Like that's what you are supposed to do. Yeah. It's perfect your craft. So yeah, you that people obviously are playing because they won a championship, but you can't just relax. Definitely not in this league. There's so many great players coming up to just be like, oh well, okay, I'm done. Yeah. Like mind you, if you want to do that, cool, that's great, but you won't sustain it. Yeah, you can't. This league is too good. Players are getting too good. The league is going too fast for you to just be like, oh, okay, I'll just sit here and just do my normal 1-2 step here. Like, you gotta add a little more to, gotta add more to the Doug. You can't just do your arms. You use your body a little bit, and get like a groove. Yeah. You gotta fine tune things. Yeah, right? Just a little bit. Every team going forward is gonna be a different championship team, and you hear that in a lot of great like dynasties, championship teams. Like for example, the Bulls teams in the '90s, they were different in the early '90s and in the late '90s. Yep. You know what I mean? The Lakers in the 2000s with Kobe, Shaq is different with Kobe and Powell. Yeah. You look at Patriots dynasty with Brady. It's like every championship team looked different. So now. What are you guys going to add on to your repertoire? What are you guys going to add to that arsenal? And for you, going from starter to the 6th role, and now going forward, are you still thinking like this is going to be my permanent role, or like what anything that you guys are thinking about shifting, or you guys have talked about yet?
We have not talked about shit yet, honestly. To be completely honest with you, one because we just don't. Like, we can't do anything.
Won. Obviously.
Yeah, we just won. I mean, people were trying to gather their lives together. We're waiting on the CBA. We're trying to get everything right. But even with that, you have a perspective of like you want to keep building, right? You want to have the right people around to win a championship. You want to have a championship culture. You want to make sure everyone's body's right. So, I mean, Becky called me the other day. It's like, how's your body? Like, are you
Oh, okay.
good? Like, are you resting? Are you
Yeah.
recovering? Like, she's checking in to just make sure we're okay, we're intact. Like, because even when you win a championship, you can still feel like, it's not enough, or you're not
Yeah.
enough, right? Or like emotionally, mentally, you're not
Yeah.
there, or something's still pulling you back, so you're not present. So to have someone, like your coach calling you, just making sure you're okay as a person, that shows this how she is and how she is as a coach. So I think that's really important when people are trying to figure out what they're trying to do next year. You want to really be in a good environment where you're more than just a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
And those are the things that we're fighting for now. Like, we're more than just basketball players. We bring a lot more to the table. And so you have a coaching staff that understands that. You have players around you that understand that you're able to really thrive and be yourself through and through. And so that's my mindset. It's like, wherever I'm at, I want to be in an environment that I'm able to be myself. And, I really, don't mind coming off the bench. I really don't mind starting. I just want to win, man. Like, that's where I'm at in my life. It's like, it's about winning. And how do we do that? And if whatever my team needs me to do, I'm going to find ways to do that. If it's, pulling myself back and understanding what this team needs. So this team could be completely different next year. We have no idea, right? So
100%.
So everyone can have a different role, a different shift. So for me, it's like, how do we win? Like, what does that look like? How do I make people better around me? How do I keep, perfecting my craft? How do I build a better community in Vegas? How do I, build the right, situation for people? How do I leave impact, like, beyond just, basketball? Like, am I serving the community and, like, the, fighting kids with dyslexia and serving that need, or whatever that is? Like, that's where I'm going to go and do, regardless of where I'm at. But it's always doing that, because I want to really make sure that I'm constantly, perfecting myself, but like make everyone else around me better as well.
And you're also ever evolving. Like, it's not just your game. It's as a person, as a mentality. Even in this podcast, we're ever evolving. Like, we're moving around, we're shifting things, but it's for the greater good, right? And we're trying to do everything we can to make that impact too. So this upcoming season, I mean, we got some months away.
We got some time for sure.
We got some time. You can still enjoy this.
Oh, of course.
Enjoy it now. Of course.
Like, wait until we can't. You never know. It's hard to get back. Man. So
some people never have a chance to even get to the finals. And the fact that you've done it 3 times, and fortunately, and to your craft, you haven't lost. So
hey, don't jinx me.
Yeah.
Hey, if this happens and I lose in the finals,
hey, knock on wood.
Blame this guy right here.
Please don't. Knock on some wood,
he just jinxed it on the warehouse. But the thing that's really cool, and something I always want to like leave with people, because I'm like, how do we end the show? Like, how do we bring people together? What do we say? And obviously we're big on like where your craft meets community, and like your impact, and the mastery of your craft. But like, for me, it's like the last thing Kobe told me was to be epic and create forever. And so, like, how can you guys do that and build your own warehouse around, your community? How do you do that? And so every single time, whether it makes sense or not, I'm going to always tell you guys to be epic and create forever. Build it with us at the warehouse, build it with you guys in your homes, whatever that looks like. We're so excited to be here with you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the warehouse. I'm Jewell. This is Danny. That's a wrap.
Like and subscribe.